What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Sensibly Loud Radio with your main man, J-Mac, here on this lovely Wednesday evening at Sensibly Loud HQ in Dallas, Texas. I am in the studio with Mountain Karl and Brandon B-Eazy. What's going on, boys?
What's going on?
Hey, gentlemen.
Welcome back. It, once again, feels like it's been a while. Hasn't been that long.
Yep, just going through the crazy thing called life, and before you know it, it's Wednesday again.
Exactly. Brandon, you just spent a little bit of time in the trees in Arkansas. How was that?
I went and visited my grandparents and some family up in North Little Rock and enjoyed the 95% humidity and everything else. But it was great to get away.
Brutal. It's nice up there, right? I've never been up to Arkansas.
Oh,
really
yeah, it's
too much.
real nice. Once you get past Texarkana, you see a bunch of trees and a lot of lakes and rivers and everything else. People were nicer up there. People were better drivers up there than they are down here, so that was a nice escape.
It's less populated too, though, right? So, I mean, that's part of it.
Yeah. Not to mention staying up late watching my grandparents' new widescreen, and all they have is standard definition channels. And but thankfully, they had TV land, so I watched a bunch of reruns of King of Queens. So you can't go wrong with that.
That's sweet 4x3 perspective.
Oh yeah.
King of Queens is on TV land now. God, that's upsetting. That does not feel good to the
Followed
show.
by 2.5 Men.
Yeah, we have aged poorly.
I don't know.
That's what that tells me.
Is it that, or is it that TV land has changed from what we once knew it as?
Well, I think whenever it started, it was like, it was like old stuff, back in the 70s.
Yeah, it was like All in the Family and Sanford and Son
Family
and
Ties, yeah.
Quincy. What a show. It was, but it's progressively kind of followed through the ages. But I didn't think we were at the 2000s mark. But I mean, I guess that was 20 years ago, almost.
Yeah, I was watching one episode. You probably remember it, Justin, of King of Queens, and it's where Carrie gets a new job. She's trying to make friends with all these people that live in the city, and Doug wants nothing to do with it. So they have a great night, and all of a sudden Carrie's like, okay, well, I'm going to go make some coffee in the kitchen. So he raises his shirt up, and he's like, is this too much chest hair? Feel it. It's really soft. Is this too much? And they just freak out. Yeah. They won't tell Carrie why they don't want to make plans with them again.
Yeah, dude. He wants to close the bubble, as he refers it to.
Yeah, he's like, all is quiet in the dome.
That's right.
Yeah, all's quiet in the dome every time he scares off people. Yeah. It's unbelievable. Or he'll talk about he'll just randomly, as soon as she leaves, say she gets up to go to the bathroom, he'll just be laughing and having a good time, and all of a sudden just break out his wallet and say, so how much will it cost me for you two to get it on in front of me right now? And it's just like, oh my God. It's like everybody's worst nightmare of being out with a new couple you don't really know, and all of a sudden it gets super weird. It's a fantastic episode. That show was brilliant in so many different ways. Jerry Stiller is amazing on that show too. But I mean, isn't he always? I mean, can you guys name a bad Jerry Stiller thing?
Not really.
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah.
I mean, we've been on a gambit of watching older movies and stuff we haven't seen in a while lately. We watched Zoolander not too long ago. And I mean, his role in Zoolander is the big time fashion agent. It's just hysterical.
Oh yeah. Is Kevin James doing anything besides Netflix movies now?
Yeah, he still have his own show. Was it Kevin Can Wait or something like that?
That got canceled.
Did it?
That show pissed me off because they basically killed off the mother after the first season and then didn't really specifically address it. Just sort of it would be like if Brandon just left the show and we never really specifically address it, but we just kind of talk around it like you're not really there. It was really strange the way they ddid that.
We had a show before he showed up, and then I got invited back.
Right. And then we just kept the name. It was weird. So it was that. And then they added Leah Remini to it. So it was basically like King of Queens, but they had they spent a whole season trying to figure out the weird dynamic between them. Were they friends? Were they lovers? Because they literally killed the wife off. She died.
Well,
yeah, she wasn't bad either. I mean, they just
I wonder if it was
went for it.
I wonder if it was a case of she was just a pain in the ass to work with, and made life difficult. Because there's a lot of actors out there that are always just and coworkers too, as that are just difficult people to work with, and they're always causing drama.
Yep.
Dude, I hate working with Ben. I know what you mean.
Well, shit, might as well bring out the elephant in the room, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll be back later. I can't do this right now.
Let's just talk about it. Let's just get it out there. No, I'm just kidding. No, for sure. So it could have been that, but I think it was more that was right when Leah Remini got away from the whole Scientology thing and was really kind of making a comeback. And I think they wanted to add her to the show, and they didn't really know how to do it. And because that's the thing. Like, you can't just have another King of Queens. Like that wasn't going to work. So you had to come up with some different dynamic, and they just couldn't really decide what that was. I
feel like they should bring
King
of Queens back.
Dude, I think it kind of ended at a good time. It didn't go on for too long.
True. In the age of recycled television, they can make it happen, though.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Kind of like Seinfeld. I'm glad it ended when it should have. And I've heard Seinfeld talk about this. Like, you got to end while you're ahead rather than becoming stale. And I thought it was great that he showed up in, Larry David's show.
Oh, dude, the whole season 9 of Curb is basically like them writing the new Seinfeld. And the way it's done is just it like goes like it because it shows them like on the set of filming Seinfeld with all the actors and everything, and it's like it's there but it's not really there. It was a really neat way they did that. I enjoyed it. And of course there's like Michael Richards, who's just like aloof to everything because Larry takes him to the restaurant and it's got boobs all over the wall, and he's just distracted by all the pictures of the boobs and know what he's talking about, just like blindly is like yeah, I agree, okay, yeah, and doesn't even know that he agreed to do the Seinfeld show. It's absolutely fantastic. So Kramer.
That's awesome.
Awesome. But it's funny though, like this kind of comes up though, because like I said, we've been watching a lot of movies that we haven't seen in a while. And 2 of them that we watched the other day was one, Jerry Maguire. Thoughts?
Oh boy.
Just thoughts in general?
I mean, Tom Cruise in his prime. I mean, Minority Report came on the other day and I was like, wow, that guy is young. I feel old as shit right now. So Fair. It was, but no, I love Jerry Maguire. Awesome. That kid melted like everybody's hearts in the entire world.
Dude,
and is he like goofy as hell and in a rock band now? What is he doing?
You know what he was in the year after that? Because I actually looked into this. Is he was in Stuart Little, the remake of Stuart Little.
So he was peak child actor.
Oh yeah, it was like a year around that. Do you remember that movie, Brandon?
I'm trying to think of who did Jerry Maguire. Was it Cameron Crowe or someone like that?
Somebody like that. I'd have to.
It's probably someone pretty prolific in regards to character development, because that movie was just dripping of character development, from everything from Cuba Gooding Jr. to him to Renee Zellweger's character, and everybody was just real. And I think Carl hit it on the nose. It's definitely during his prime, but it just seems like Tom Cruise has different peaks of primes every decade. It's pretty crazy.
That's a good point.
That's very true, because he's been like the same looking person for 30 years. It's crazy.
Brandon, you're correct. Cameron Crowe wrote and directed that movie.
I was just going to tell you. Yeah, and I agree. And I don't know that I've ever seen anything bad that Cuba Gooding Jr.'s done either. Have you guys?
Well, he was in Radio. So, I mean, like, that happened.
Full retard.
I mean, but, different movie, still funny.
Yeah, different movie, definitely calling it back. God, Tropic Thunder, so good. But now
what is Radio though, right? Wasn't that a good movie? I only think I saw it maybe once.
Yeah, I have no idea if it was a good movie or not. I just know that it always gets referenced for like not Oscar worthy. It's a running joke now.
But all right, let's dig this down for a second. Let's just go there. How is this judged? Like, I mean, can you be more like realistic as an autistic person? Is that what you're going for here? Whenever we're looking at the, taking movie, awards and stuff away, like, how do you even touch that?
I have no idea. I mean, like, if you're going for authenticity, perhaps he nailed it, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Who's to say?
But I have no clue.
What kind of training do you need to be able to judge something like that? That's my question.
And how does one method act their way through this? Yeah. I also don't know that answer. So, no, it's. I mean, I have no idea. But he's done some really great movies. There was
nothing here.
Yeah, we've achieved nothing with this conversation.
Correct.
No, it was the one movie. What was it? Where he was a Navy diver.
Men of Honor.
Men of Honor.
Yeah.
With
Great
Bobby D.
Yeah, so he's fantastic. Yeah, Cookie. Yeah, him and De Niro were fantastic in that movie together. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I just remember it being extremely long, but very good.
Yep, absolutely. No, I really enjoyed that movie. I think he's had a pretty great career. He kind of, definitely hit that low point there. Obviously, I think radio kind of was the start of that. But
back to the radio thing again, huh?
Hey, well, I'm dragging this whole show down with me. No, it's he comes back and he does a lot of smaller movies, and then he goes into what, the OJ thing. Yeah,
the OJ thing was he was great in that too. He was fantastic in that. Overall, I mean, how could it was really hard. That was a hard thing to like capture, I think. And nobody really knows much about Juice other than he's creepy as fuck.
Yeah. OJ is not probably someone that I would want to. Well, we had this conversation. Will we have OJ on the show or not?
Yes.
Or would he be on Just Peachy?
Well, we were going to hire him as an intern for Just Peachy.
Right.
A consultant.
Yeah. American Gangster, he was great in too.
Yeah.
Now if you really want to start talking about movies that probably caused some downturn, Norbit is probably up there.
Oh God, that's Eddie Murphy, right?
Yeah,
he was in Norbit.
Yes, that's a problem.
I mean, they're both not really getting a high mark for that one. I mean, like what Eddie Murphy did a bunch of really cool stuff, and then kind of came back and did his whole like the clumps and everything.
Yeah, Dr. Dolittle.
Yeah, and then he went straight into Pluto Nash and like became a tire fire. Nobody wanted to touch this guy. So I don't know what the hell. I mean, like they clearly dug Pluto Nash out of a dumpster. Like,
oh yeah,
there is no way that somebody thought that was really worth releasing until they were like, this is the moment that we basically got this movie for free.
Right. It felt like a movie that's made to get out of the end of a contract.
Right. They were just like, pitch it over the fence. We're done. Yeah, it was, God, that was terrible.
I only hope that one day we can sign some contract that we hate that we signed, and then we just mail in a half-assed piece of material just to finish it out. I can't wait for that day because it'll come.
To actually peak, to know you have peaked, and then to finish out really at the bottom. That's what we're going for here on the show.
Yeah, we're going for the gigantic roller coaster drop is what we're looking for.
Yeah, that's exciting.
So how did y'all derive at Jerry Maguire and Father of the Bride?
Yeah, so Father of the Bride was the other one. So classic Steve Martin movie. That one kind of came up organically just because we haven't seen it in a long time. And like I couldn't really recall some of the specifics. And I love going back and watching some of those older like John Candy, Steve Martin, like even if some of them were cheesy,
80s, 90s.
they are.
It's got a nostalgia to it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That was an early 90s movie. So I was young, like very young. So I didn't see it like when it was out. I saw it pretty far after the fact. And so it had just been a long time. And then Jerry Maguire was something I think that we kind of compromised on. Like I've been trying to watch some movies that Claire wants to watch, and she watches like Caddyshack with me and things like that at times. Like she doesn't enjoy that. I get it. That's okay.
That wasn't her pick?
No, believe it or not. I know, not a big Bill Murray fan. No, I think she's fine with Bill Murray. But regardless, it's like just, not movies that she always picks. So I try to compromise a little bit, be a nice person and a good husband. And I'm giving myself a little credit there.
Yeah. That was good. Yeah. No, that was nice.
But it was kind of a good compromise. And like, oh, man, I haven't seen Jerry Maguire in a long time either. So, I was game to do it. I didn't object. I didn't hate watching either one of those.
So next time, be like, okay, here's some other ones. Let's watch Porky's and Any Given Sunday.
Yeah, and now we're going to watch Gangs of New York.
Gangs of New York. The 3.5 hour version, yeah.
Yeah. Or what was the Leo movie where he ate the bear or lived inside the bear?
Revenant.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know.
Revenant. Yeah, the Revenant. Yeah, we're going to watch The Revenant.
I almost said Out Cold, and that's not right at all.
Out Cold is an incredible movie.
Yeah, Out Cold is great. definitely no DiCaprio
But
in that
going
one
back
though.
to Father and the Bride, like I have an older sister. She's about 4 or 5 years older than me, so I saw that movie fairly quickly after it came out to VHS back in the day, and I haven't seen that movie in a long time. But it was well casted. The one scene that sticks out in my mind is whenever he's at the store and he's trying to get a certain amount of hot dog buns. And he's like, "I don't want this many.
Yeah.
I just want this many," and he just takes it out of the package. Been there before.
Yep, we've all been there. We've all been there. No doubt about it. It was funny. So like we kind of been on a track of watching those movies, and we were on, so 4th of July, we were, out at the pool and stuff like that, and drinking in the sun all day and whatnot. And so we ended up just getting like completely sunburned, and we were just exhausted by the time we got home. And we got home at like 7, and I was like, well, I don't want to go to bed right now, even though I feel like I could. So we were like looking for something to watch that we just haven't seen in a little bit, and it's just kind of like mindless, you don't have to think about. And we came to The Hangover, which is, dude,
man.
when you haven't seen it in a while, because it was overdone. Like, I mean, we've talked about that on the show before. 4 of those movies was 4 too many. I mean, it really was
a little repetitive. Yeah,
I think they only did 3 of them.
Oh, really? I thought they did 4. Anyway, I want to say they had planned for 4, but the third one was so bad they X'd it or something like that. That's all those things are a money grab. But anyway, so we got into it, and the Zach Galifianakis thing made me think of this, because those are his 2 best movies by a long shot, is Out Cold and The Hangover.
Yeah, I think I can give you that.
Due Date was, I don't know.
Yeah,
he's been in like more funny TV sometimes than a lot of other stuff too. So,
have either of you ever checked out Baskets?
Is he a clown in that one? Or,
yeah, he's like a sad, failed clown.
and like his mom is like Louis.
Louis Anderson.
Oh, really?
Yep. Plays
Louis
his mom.
Anderson. Yeah, I remember seeing that, and I was like, holy shit, is that Louis Anderson? Like, because I mean, they do him up real well. Like, I mean, like he definitely plays the part. So,
dude, I start to want to. I've wanted to watch that show because the premise does make me laugh, but I just never can bring myself to do it. I just it just feels like I'm gonna be sad. It's almost like watching an episode of Louis, and you're like, it's funny, but you also know you're going to feel really shitty when you get done watching it.
That's another FX show. Again, my theory of miserable people holds.
Yeah, we talked about this last time.
Yeah,
this ties right back to it. Exactly. But Baskets is one of those shows where I've really honestly thought about it several times and just like hovered over the play button and just said, nope, can't do it. Gotta maybe come back to it. But I don't know. I've been curious about it. But yeah, so we've been in that I don't know, just rut of old movies and stuff like that lately. And now I feel like, so after today, Rip Torn died. So now I feel like we're going to have to go back and check out some Rip Torn movies.
There are plenty.
There are lots.
It's awesome. What has he been in recently, as far as, well, not recently, but obviously MIB. So Men in Black. He's been Dodgeball.
Dodgeball, yep.
Yeah.
Did we confirm, did he actually die by being crushed by a sign? Do we get the intern to figure that out?
We've got to put him to work, because that would not only be ironic, but also coincidental now.
So, right.
Luck of the Irish.
All right, we'll send them out. Yeah, the luck of the Irish. We'll send them out, see if they can figure that out. Yeah, he was really transcendent, like even like just really across time, just in general, I guess. He really had like a long career. He was an actor. He's been in a lot more stuff than we probably even can remember or realize.
Even before comedic acting.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was in Beastmaster and stuff like that, which, I mean, at the time was just, how like Hollywood will chunk in movie ideas and they'll basically like load them all together at the same time, like White House Down and Olympus Has Fallen, or Dante's Peak and Volcano.
Yep.
And it was kind of like that with what was it? It was kind of like Beastmaster and Conan, or Conan.
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
not Conan.
Not
like that. Yeah, not Conan O'Brien, but I mean, generally speaking, it was kind of like during that era of people trying to get more Conan-esque, stuff out there. So, but
Real
I'm
gritty.
pretty sure there's like a bad guy in that, which I mean, like I used to watch that stuff all the time, but I have no idea.
Yeah. Real gritty stuff.
Gritty, violent, like weird mystical crap for literally no reason. Yeah.
I mean, cliffhanger. The title tells you all you need to know. It's just a lot of cliffhanging.
Yeah, exactly. Which, by the way, holy crap, John Lithgow.
Unreal.
Ace performance.
Unreal. Those are not usually two things that are synonymous with each other.
No. Do you guys ever watch Dexter? We're off the rails now. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I never watched Dexter. I watched the first episode.
I watched the first few seasons. I need to finish that. Yeah.
Did you ever get to the John Lithgow season? Okay. So you like, I mean, I was watching Third Rock from the Sun.
No, that's a great show.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think I crammed a few seasons of that into my brain.
Yeah.
And then here comes Dexter, and I'm binge watching this way after it's aired, right? And I'm like going through this, and I think it's like season 3 or 4 or something, where John Lithgow comes out of nowhere, and he's like naked, and he's like strangling this woman, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I mean, like, you are not playing to type at all, sir. So no, it was a surprise. He's not a bad actor. He's just not always nailing it on the head as far as his career goes.
So, I mean, that whole show, though, I mean, were they a bunch of aliens? Is that what it was? I don't even really remember.
Yeah. Third Rock from the Sun, everybody was an alien.
There was nothing like a good sitcom revolved around aliens, like the Coneheads. So funny. That's
Alf.
Alf. Dude, Alf is one of my favorite shows ever. Dude, the fact that he was always trying to snack on the house cat is just fantastic.
Yeah. Constant gag. Definitely worth it.
Yeah, he was a real mooch overall. I mean, he just ate all of Willie's food all the time. And I mean, yeah, Alpha's awesome. But yeah, there was nothing like those kinds of shows. I mean, French Stewart was unbelievable in that show, Third Rock from the Sun.
French Stewart as a comedic actor, another thing that kind of came on late. Like, he was in Stargate as like the heavy.
Yeah.
And I remember like watching that and kind of being like, again, like kind of like after Third Rock from the Sun, going back and watching that, be like, holy shit, French Stewart, you're in this movie, just like trying like tough talking people and everybody, and I was just like, this makes no fucking sense at all. But
none whatsoever. And they also had Wayne Knight as the cop. He was like Officer Don or something like that. Man, it's been so long since I've seen that show.
Yeah, it was a funny show.
But yeah, man, back to Rip Torn.
Bring it back. Come on back.
Rip Torn was also one thing that a lot of people always forget that he was on a lot of was the Larry Sanders Show.
Yep.
On HBO back then, which was a classic. And then whenever I looked at his IMDb page, this came up, and I'm not even really concerned about who he was because I don't recall who he was in this movie, but the movie Freddy Got Fingered came up.
He was Freddy's dad.
Oh, that's right. He was.
Yeah, he was like trying to take the LeBaron from Freddy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Why do I remember this movie?
I don't know. That movie.
Horrible movie.
Tom Green is an asshole.
Yeah, and I've got apparently I've got a lot of neurons firing for no reason with Freddy Got Fingered. This is terrible. I don't like this at all. Yeah.
Yeah, that is. I just that whole movie. The whole Tom Green experience back in the day was just a terrible thing.
Yeah, he tried to keep his career going for a long time.
And then he got ball cancer, and that just was so fitting, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then he went to I guess there was like the cancer special or something, and then like later on he came back and he was doing more talk show stuff, but it was supposed to be serious. I'm not really sure where to put. Like, Tom Green is not something I would necessarily put in a box.
Right. What box is it?
What box is it? I have no idea. He's probably reinvented his career like 4 times, and that's fine. Tom Green, I know you're listening, and fuck you.
I'm sure he doesn't have a lot. To do, but I just picture like whenever I sat there and saw him do the cancer special and all the talk shows after that, all I could think was him putting the mouse in his mouth and letting it run on his tongue. Like, what the fuck is wrong with that guy? Like, that guy's the worst.
Drew Barrymore for a little while too.
Yeah, but I don't think that was for very long, right?
But
what happened to her?
Who got the raw end of that deal?
She was on that show that recently got canceled, but it had a cult following.
Santa Clarita Diet. Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah.
One more show I probably can't watch in this house. I don't think girlfriend will allow it.
No,
I don't think. I mean, it's like about eating people. So
she's not a fan of cannibalism, huh?
I try to turn her back onto it in all the films, but she just can't do it. Can't do it.
It's a tough turn to make. It really is.
Notice how I had to put the qualifier in there. I'm like, no, I can't even pretend like I'm into cannibalism. That won't fly.
Yeah, they don't call you Mountain Karl for nothing. So you got your cave up there with bones.
Mountain Pass Karl. Yeah, it's not. This is not good. Yeah,
little Donner Party type situation.
Exactly.
Went, yeah.
So, yeah.
Jesus.
So again, very real turn.
All right, I'm jumping on this wagon. How Sonny Bono of you?
Oh,
that's pretty good.
Nice.
There you go. All right, we've all made an inappropriate joke. It's time to move on.
Yeah, we're chipping away at this listenership
I was going to ask
pretty
Carl
steadily.
What other roles he has against him?
Wait.
In your household, yeah.
Oh, for me? Oh, what other rules do I have against me?
We could think about that. We go on to the next subject.
No. This is. I'll go ahead and just frame it real quick. I'll say that when I started the relationship, it was girlfriend said, "Hey, you know what? I'm really nerdy." And I was like, "That's cool because I'm a total nerd too, right?" Sure. And then later on, it was like, "I'm really nerdy because I'm into Star Wars," and I'm like, "I see where this is going. You're not really nerdy. You just like Star Wars.
You want to be nerdy,
right?
90% of the population.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's fine. I mean, it's an olive branch, honestly.
Right. Absolutely.
I'll take it. You
know, absolutely.
But then I showed my ankle, a little bit of ankle, and I was like,
wait a minute.
And she was like, no, I'm not doing this. I can't deal with that much nerdiness, so I really have to dial back the nerdiness.
Carl's all of a sudden this 1920s reporter, like, oh, you see, I got to show some ankle,
Yeah. So 1920s reporter and cannibal. This is good.
Wow.
We're creating a type here.
Pretty amazing.
Real.
Yeah. Well, that was trash.
It wasn't. She absolutely made the commitment though, and you got to respect that. It's
she stuck around for some reason. I still don't know.
She's really not going to like this whole us playing Minecraft on the Twitch stream channel, which we'll talk about here in a minute.
Oh boy. Yep. Good call.
Or she will. Maybe we get her to do it with us.
I actually was going to get her to. I texted her today and I said I'm going to download a baseball game.
Yeah.
And I said if I download a baseball game, will you play it with me?
Mm-hmm.
And she said yes, and I'll kick your ass. And I was like,
oh,
yes, that's love right there.
Game
I
on.
can deal with that. Yeah, it's on. It's a shame that for Xbox the only title that I have is. Do you hear that?
Feedback coming back. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Seems fine now. Anyways, go on.
Okay. Anyway,
technical.
No, yeah, it's fine. So she had I downloaded RBI Baseball, and I said it's a shame that the only only title that I've got for baseball is RBI Baseball.
Yeah, man.
I mean, like you've got the show.
I do.
Which
I've
very
got
jealous
King Griffey.
of.
I bought. King Griffey's awesome though.
Yep.
Griffey's awesome. I bought a PlayStation specifically because of the show. And I love PlayStation for sports games. I do not like it for any other type of game. I don't like Red Dead Redemption on it, and I have it on there, and I hate that I do because I don't like it.
I love Red Dead Redemption.
I like the game. I just don't like playing it on PlayStation for whatever reason. I just like it's much better for Xbox or for Switch.
Interesting.
On the Switch, actually. But
it'll come out on PC sometime soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And that'll probably be the best, honestly.
Yeah, I can see that being the best.
But the show is unmatched. It really is. It's an incredible baseball game, and I'm going to be doing I've committed to playing an entire Red Sox season with quick counts. So basically AI simulates your pitch counts. So you'll start on like a 2-1 count or a 3-2 count at times. And it kind of keeps the game going. It makes them last about 30 to 45 minutes. So I'm going to play them on Twitch. And so those will be out there. I think Carl and I are going to do some Minecraft on Twitch. So it's under Sensibly Loud. So you guys can find it out there. Come check it out. Let us know what you think. So just a little plug there real quick while we were there.
Yeah, exactly. Come watch me die in video games. It's going to be great.
I will give Claire credit. She has played Rory McIlroy's the PGA game with me many times and been a very good sport about it.
That is pretty great.
Yeah,
that's good. She's reaching in on that. I mean, like I said, hopefully the girlfriend gets into RBI baseball.
Yeah.
And we play that together, or it's a horrible game like I've read on reviews, and she uses it as punishment against me.
It's bad, but it's not that terrible.
That's good.
You'll be fine with it.
Okay.
So I'll be out there.
That's good.
That'll be good. I want to hear the shit talking. So I think you need to make sure she has a headset because the shit talking's got to.
Oh yeah, she'll get sassy. It's gonna get real.
And I know her. Dude, you better be careful here. Like you better be real careful because she's competitive and she'll take you down. I don't doubt it.
Yeah, no, she's gonna. It's probably one of those things where like we play Rocket League and stuff together, and she'll like, I'll just destroy her on like 3 matches, and then she'll come back and she'll just grind me to dust. Like slowest, like grindiest game you'll ever play in your life. But I expect that fully, where I'm gonna get just destroyed, and it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun for everyone. I hope we all get to even broadcast that, and that'd be fun.
I will be watching every second of that on Twitch, no doubt about it.
Yes.
We'll have to do a live showing of it, I feel like, in the office. I feel like we won't have a choice.
I'd be fine with that. I mean, especially with the complexities or lack thereof of RBI baseball and the exhibition that will be seen between the Texas Rangers and the Atlanta Braves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One thing that we've been wanting to do for a while, and I think now we finally have the capacity to do this with all the streaming stuff we've gotten worked out, but we want to do a baseball tournament where like maybe Sam and I play each other in the show and we have Jimmy come in. We'll figure out like a round robin type thing or something like that. But essentially we're going to have Ben and somebody else call the game while we play and, have basically just do the booth stuff and do the color commentary for a full 9 innings of games. Dude, that's something we talked about when we very first started The Outfielder like a year and a half ago. And I'm still thinking about that idea because we're going to make that happen at some point and it's going to be priceless. Imagine Ben being the color commentator guy.
1920s Ben. What do you think, Paul?
Oh my God.
What do you think, Paul?
What do you think, Paul?
There we go.
Especially if he shows up like that. That's true. I didn't even think about that. But that's something I can't get away from. So we're going to get to that at some point as well. So good stuff to come on the Twitch stream.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, man. So Brandon, while you were away this weekend, you got to check out that movie yesterday. Right. Is that correct?
So checked out this movie that came out. It's directed by Danny Boyle. Great director, did 28 Days Later. And he's known for so many other like Slumdog Millionaire. So this movie is pretty interesting. Kind of reminded me of like a Twilight Zone episode. This guy's like a struggling musician. And I can only imagine the casting of this movie and the process they had to do. But guy had a really good voice. His name's Himesh Patel, and also stars Lily James. And so basically this guy is struggling, and one evening, like the entire world just loses power. And right at that time, he gets hit by a bus. And he comes to, he gets out of the hospital and everything, and starts like quoting Beatles songs. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? And he realizes he's the only one who remembers anything to do with the Beatles. And so he starts to, record as a musician, saying that this is his own music, and blows people's minds and starts to gain sort of attraction. And Lily James is his love interest, and his whole life changes. And it's really interesting because not only do they take that subject of he's the only one that remembers the Beatles and it doesn't exist in this world anymore, but there's several other things that also don't exist. So I like how they kind of play with that, and it kind of goes into like this sort of Twilight Zone / love story. But really good. Recommend it. I'd probably give it a B-.
Okay.
Not bad.
Nice. Claire and I want to see this for sure.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to. Yeah. I didn't see the Elton John movie. I was just going to wait for that to come out. There are movies like that I like to watch at home. But I definitely think I want to go see this one. We're going to see The Lion King, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But we're going to be going to see that soon to make sure we have that for movie reviews and whatnot. So, we're going to be on top of that. So that's one I know I'm going to the theater for. And given that I'm not one to go to the theater very often, I hope this one doesn't slip through that crack. But if it does, I'll just watch it when it comes out. So regardless, I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, I think Girlfriend will be a fun one to take that too. So it'd be good.
So with this power outage thing, I've got some questions real quick. With the power outage thing, did he was this like a power surge?
So
how long was this for?
It was like some solar flares or something that caused the entire world. It's kind of like what everybody was afraid of for Y2K when that happened. And it only happened, it only took I think it was like 60 seconds or something,
Holy moly. Wow. That is so funny you brought up Y2K.
We were begging for a Y2K segue for episodes. There we go. Thanks, buddy.
Yep. We had a conversation this past week about a piece of content, and I'm probably just going to throw it out there because I really don't know what we'll do with it. But essentially, it's this idea I had where it's like basically someone, say it's Ben. We'll just use Ben for an example because we love to pick on him on this show. Ben is really, we're in the year 1998, 99, and Ben is really scared of Y2K and goes into an underground bunker for 20 years and comes out and realizes that nothing has changed or that everything changed around him basically. And he thinks that the world had shut down. Again, I don't really know what the premise exactly would be. And I don't even know what this idea is other than the fact that Carl and I were talking about it and trying to figure out maybe what does this fall under? Is this like a movie we could make or whatever, whatever. And we still do it. I don't know.
Idea for you.
But,
so the entrance to the bunker is the shed.
Oh, there you go. So you got the experience of digging the holes.
Right.
So that's great news.
No, I was definitely selling it as Blast to the Past, with Brendan Fraser, except for now, and so only like 10, even 16 years removed, just like the massive changes that have been undergone in this world.
I had to put a hole in the bottom of a swimming pool yesterday.
Shave his dad's neck.
Yeah, shave his dad's neck. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Carl. I love it. Well, I don't know. Like I said, we may figure this out after all. I don't know. We'll figure it out. If anybody has ideas that they think they could, take this idea and run with it, I'll gladly give it up if I can see it come to life. It would be a good cartoon as well.
Yeah, I could see that happen for sure.
But I guess that is a good segue, though. We're talking about The Lion King coming out here in a couple of weeks.
That's right.
Going to be early to see this? What are you thinking here?
I think we've pretty much avoided a lot of the remakes from the Disney side of stuff, but not like intentionally, right? Just slips by. And I think Lion King may change that, and hell, even Mulan may change that. That got pitched not too long ago.
Yeah, isn't it like 2020?
Yeah, it's coming. They showed I think the first teaser during the final, the women's soccer final, right?
Oh, the World Cup. Yeah.
World Cup. Yeah. So yeah, it all looks really great, and I want to check it out. So interesting on all that casting news. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of weird feedback.
I was
now.
too, but it looks like it's gone.
Okay.
We're having all kinds of technical issues.
This is very strange today.
Yeah. Brandon, what do you think? Are you stoked to see this?
Disney's just a money-making machine. They've been doing all these remakes and all live action, and For Mulan, I don't know. I wasn't really that close to it, but you mentioned Lion King. Yeah.
That's what I was asking about, not
Lion
Mulan.
King.
Yeah,
It
right.
was one of my favorite animated. That one came out in '94, I think. I mean, he had Elton John doing the music and everything, and so I'll be interested to see like the graphics and stuff, and how the special effects play out, and the acting and voice acting and all that. But
Donald Glover is going to be great.
I'm not going to rush out to go see it.
All right, that's fair. I think we're going to go see it pretty quickly, just given the players really wanted to see this one. I was never really. So Claire and I have talked about this a ton. Like, I just never really watched all those movies that much. I've seen like Little Mermaid and all those classic Disney movies that we kind of grew up with, like all of them like once.
Right.
And this one I'm willing to give a pretty good shot to, just given the cast. And I mean, it's pretty much an impossible story to fuck up. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah, I mean, and they also just announced casting for Little Mermaid.
That's right, they sure did.
Not long ago, and it was pretty funny. Guy Fieri and Terry Crews were getting in on that, and pretending like they offered themselves up as Ursula and Triton respectively.
Yeah.
So it was a funny bit and everything. But I remember watching all those Disney cartoons as a kid. I mean, you guys watch those?
We had all
right?
the Disney VHS tapes and everything. So yeah, very familiar with all these, even the old school Cinderella and Lady and the Tramp, which I think is one of the next movies that is on Disney's slate to do live action. I don't know how they're going to do that, but yeah,
it'd be interesting. Yeah, I it's something where I was probably in high school when I saw this, but going back and revisiting all of these Disney VHSs, they had some weird kind of not so much Easter eggy things, but some real like jacked up like sexual references and stuff like that. Do you guys ever see that at all? Do you know?
I've heard about this, but I don't know much about it because I haven't seen all those movies more than like one time.
Okay. So I'll get some examples, right? So from The Little Mermaid, we've got the art on the front of the VHS box, right?
Mm-hmm.
People say that one of those towers is, let's say, very phallic in nature. Another thing is,
I'm looking this up.
You have to. You have to. Yeah. This is not so much theater of the mind. I can't like go into describing it too much here. But the other thing from Little Mermaid that is very obvious is when the priest is marrying Ariel and I can't remember her crush in the movie on the boat. That priest gets a monster erection.
Okay.
I'm not kidding.
Okay.
I wish I was joking, but if you watch it and you go back, like we did like back and forth trying to like see like, is this for real? Is that his knee or something? It is pretty clearly his junk.
Oh my God, I just saw the penis thing.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, so here's the story that I pieced together real quick.
All right.
Are we going to put this out on our social? I don't really want to, but I feel like people need to see this.
That movie came out in 1990, I want to say, right?
Yeah, and apparently Disney has gone back and fixed it to where it doesn't look that way anymore.
Dumb.
Because at first I was looking at covers and I was like, what the hell is going on? I don't see what they're talking about. And I saw a few towers and I was like, okay, maybe, but like it looks like a dick with like a glass shard through it, so I'm like, that doesn't get us here, and so I was looking at it and then I saw a little image in Google Images that said banned, and so they've banned it or whatever and they changed it because apparently this is true. And if you look at this, I'm going to put it in our Slack chat here in just a second. It's unbelievable.
Something? Whoa.
I have no idea what was going on, but I remember my girlfriend at the time coming over and pointing to the cover of that and saying, "That's a cock." I was just like, "Okay, all right, you're not wrong." Yeah.
Wow.
So those are big ones. Obviously, the priest thing is pretty hilarious. There's another one that was on one of the cuts of the Aladdin VHS, and if you right when Jasmine hops onto the carpet, the magic carpet, right outside her window, if you crank that volume up like all the way, you can literally hear someone whisper, "Take off your clothes." And I'm not kidding about that. That is something we like boosted that surround sound up all the way, and everybody just dropped their jaw. They're just like, I don't believe this is actually happening. But yeah, that one. And then there's some other ones out there that are kind of like, oh yeah, like in Lion King when the dust, gets kicked up, it smells sex. I don't believe that. Like that's bull. But I mean, you can like people like screen cap it and everything, and they'll like write it out. But I don't know. It seems kind of a reach to me. But
You
yeah,
guys look. So I'm gonna slander this for a second while you guys check the Slack chat for update on this picture. Yeah, dude, these I've heard a lot of those things actually before. The erection thing is a real famous one. I'm assuming based on your face that you just saw the picture.
I just saw the picture. Yep, that's a cock.
I don't know.
No doubt.
I feel like I feel like people that were focusing on this were doing too much magic eye back in the day. Like they were focusing a little. I mean, you'd have to really be looking for it because you see how zoomed in this is, right? You see the hand down the left corner.
Well, yeah, but that was to show. Google an image of it like zoomed out a little bit, and they zoomed in on this to show like prove the point.
It's also something where when you remember it, it's a little bit more, obvious than when you see it every single time. But I'll dig up the copy of the VHS and see if it's more obvious on there. I remember it being like very, very clearly phallic.
Dude, the head, it's got a clear head on it. Like,
yeah,
no one wants to leave Atlantis.
I don't even know what that means.
Well,
I don't understand, but I like
Atlantis or whatever.
No, I
know.
Oh my god, that went off the rails. All right, glad we had that out today.
No. I mean, I had to educate everybody on
there's a lot of those things, though. And like Looney Tunes were the same way, where there's a lot of like weird things like that show up in the background that are very freaky.
Yeah, Looney Tunes has kind of a sordid past for sure. Like,
I've been waiting to get back to Looney Tunes to expose it to my children at some point, and so like I purposely waited to not go back on that because I know that I will later on whenever that day comes, and I can't even imagine what we're going to find while we're watching episodes of Daffy Duck and Roadrunner.
Right.
Maybe it's in Tiny Toons as well.
Oh god damn it!
Animaniacs.
I hope not.
Animaniacs actually does have all that trash in it,
definitely
and
Ren
it's
and Stimpy, and that was totally intentional. Yeah,
Ren and Stimpy. Yeah.
We've talked about Ren and Stimpy on this show at nauseum, but that show, I mean, that was the grossest thing on television that existed, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
All the grit and grime and all that. Oh man.
Yeah, and little boys loved it.
Oh, absolutely. I think we're going to need to go back one day and rank some of our favorite Nickelodeon shows because there's some good ones out there.
Or just even like 80s and 90s cartoon series in general. Like the nostalgia factor there is pretty nuts.
Definitely agreed, but I feel like Nick needs to stand on its own simply because there are so many things like Are You Afraid of the Dark that were just incredible.
Salute Your Shorts. Always a great one.
Angry Beavers. A great show.
Angry Beavers.
I mean, the list goes on and on. It just doesn't stop. And Rocco's Modern Life was another one. Great show.
It's a good one. Yep.
But yeah, we'll have to go back and get to that. We're going to note that down to do the summer or later on this summer, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think maybe getting everybody together to talk about some of the Nickelodeon shows and maybe the 80s and 90s shows could be like a Colorado thing.
That would be cool.
That would be pretty fun. I know Sambino's got a litany of like crazy 80s and 90s cartoons that dude watched that I don't even remember half of them. But
okay.
Yeah, definitely a rich environment for that.
Have you ever noticed that knowing Sam is like peeling away an onion? Like it's astounding, one layer at a time, and it's just you never know what you're gonna find whenever whenever you're getting to know him. And like I've known him for I don't know over 10 years, something like that now, and I had no idea he's watched that many cartoons. But I can't wait to talk to him about it.
It's definitely that. By the way, first of all, sweet Shrek reference. Glad we got that out of the way.
Yep.
Yeah, and
The only thing I remember from that movie at all.
no, well, I mean that's the most important part. That and your favorite band is scored most of it. So
I'm going to give them a piece of my mind at some point, and I don't like the thing is everybody wants me to do that right now. I don't want to burn that card yet because it's going to be right whatever I do.
Yeah,
it's not going to be pretty.
If you can treat it like you've got one shot at it, it's going to be beautiful.
Oh, it will land.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had to do the ode to Shrek. That's like I said, the only thing I remember about that damn movie.
Right, and you're right. Sam Bino is he's a very layered individual, and yes, knowing him for this long, I still learn stuff about him. So
here's a quick question. Back to the Looney Tunes thing for a moment. Would Speedy Gonzalez fly today?
Ooh, hell no.
I don't think so.
That's not even a question, man. Like or Pepe Le Pew.
That one probably to a lesser problem, but even so, it was not great.
No,
yeah,
a lot of that going on.
Tail.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, there's a lot of those types of things that were very odd.
I'm telling you that Looney Tunes is a landmine. Like you're gonna have a bunch of stuff in there that you do not expect that you cannot do anymore.
But isn't it supposed to kind of be like that? I mean, I know it was a different time, and we've talked about that a lot too on this show. But like it was a different time, and I mean, it was always supposed to be full of Easter eggs and stuff like that, and bizarre shit, wasn't it? I mean, that's kind of the point.
I mean, things get done where they're great at the time and they don't hold up well, or they do hold up well. So you can apply that test kind of, looking through that nostalgia lens, right? You can say, man, that was a really funny cartoon. But if some guy came off the street today and had never seen a cartoon in his life and watched that, he'd probably be mortified.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, probably. That's a good point. I look at those with such fondness, though. I know that I'm going to love watching some Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, I mean, through the lens of nostalgia, it is awesome. I love that stuff.
Also wouldn't fly today, animal violence.
Yeah, not a good look. So any Wile E. Coyote reference, not good.
He had a crazy abundance of access to like explosives and stuff like that.
That guy work nights or something because he has a lot of money to spend on trying to catch this freaking bird.
What was always was it Acme?
Acme.
Yeah.
Acme rockets, Acme bricks. Nope, that's a real thing. I don't know why I said that.
What a gag, though.
Acme brick is a real thing.
Ask Troy Aikman.
Well, yeah, Acme. Yeah, and Troy Aikman knows.
You can't pretend like Acme brick didn't know what they were doing.
Is that an acronym? What does that mean? What is Acme?
I don't know, but you can't tell me that they didn't know that people's mind will go to Looney Tunes and that's a good memory kind of thing, and that, so on and so forth. It's basic psychology.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you that. If that's really what it came down to, then not too bad.
That sounds like one of those conspiracy theory blogs that I write.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
Get out the red yarn and the pictures and the push pins. We're going for it.
I know. So just as a quick sidebar, speaking of that, I'm going to be off almost all of August, and I'm going to let you guys take the reins of everything and basically do the shows. You guys are going to do this show, and everybody's going to do their own shows without J-Mac for the first time. So that's going to be interesting, number one. But when I get back, I'm going to release another series of conspiracy theory blogs.
Good.
So holding on to those for a little while. Conspiracy theory Saturdays, they'll come up right before football starts, and then they'll go away as football gets on a move. So it's coming on strong. Can't wait to see what's in the pipe.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. We will hold down the fort.
Did you guys see? Yeah, dude, for sure. Did you guys see that the Big Lebowski prequel trailer came out today, or was the not today? This week.
Yep. Yeah. Was it? What is it called? The Jesus rolls.
Nobody fucks
Yeah, the
with
Jesus
the
roll.
Jesus.
An incredible character, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's. I mean, again, one of those movies that I need to maybe get in my repertoire.
We need a bowling movie right now.
Yeah.
I just watched this within the last month, so I don't know what either of your problems are.
Yeah. What was the one that Woody Harrelson was in? Great radio, guys. Sorry.
The movie that we were supposed to watch with him?
It was a bowling movie that had Woody Harrelson in it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'd have to look it up. I can't think of the title of it either,
good.
but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
Kingpin is what it's called.
Yep, there you go.
Yep.
I always I never am able to remember the title of that movie for whatever reason, but I always know that it's one of those I always think back fondly of.
Yeah, so, always love that movie.
I'm stoked for this though. Like this is one of those that Claire agreed to watch, and she liked it, but this wasn't one of her choice movies, kind of thing. But that character alone is one of the better parts of that movie, and that's saying a lot considering how great that movie is.
I mean, there's so many great characters in it.
Yeah, I think.
Dude, John Goodman might be the best part of that whole movie.
Yeah, I haven't even seen the whole movie, and I know John Goodman is my favorite character of all time.
Oh my god, dude, he is just this off the rails, Vietnam vet that just
wearing shooting vest and glasses.
You see what happens,
around.
Donnie?
Yeah,
you see what
everybody
happens?
knows somebody. Yeah, so awesome. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap things up, guys. We would remind everybody to follow us on social media. That's at Sensibly Loud on Twitter and on Instagram. And we also want to remind everyone to give us a call and leave us a voicemail. We want to hear what you guys have to say. We want to talk about what you guys want to hear about. That number is 972-885-9361. And we will see you guys next week. Mm-hmm.